and welcome to another episode of Wrestling with Bros. This is Big Baby Ben.
Choose Black.
Troy Black, baby.
Tonight we got a very special
AMB.
guest returning to the show, and AMB. How's it going tonight, brother?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just relaxing after that hard fought win for the championship. So I'm just chilling out
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Can we just point out the fact that
See
he has
that.
a new addition to his collection of items behind him? In case you haven't noticed that, ladies and gentlemen, that is an HAW championship belt.
Right up here,
Midwest
yeah.
Championship title. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about that, man?
It's a match that I'm very proud of, Uh, world championship of my career. So I'm very honored for that opportunity, let alone the chance to share the ring with Conan Lycan. Since I started from the moment I met the dude, it started with just a handshake and a hello, and we didn't stop talking for the few hours we were around each other. And he was just, giving me a lot of advice and just looking out for me in ways that no one else really has looked out for me in this business. So I had a lot of respect for him. And then just to see the things that he was doing for Honor Among Wrestling, holding the championship for as long as he did, 200 plus days as champion. That's remarkable. So
Significant
I knew
ring.
it was going to be a hard match, but I was just honored to share the ring with him, man. It was something special and it was fun. I'm looking forward to doing it again down the future. So
We would definitely look forward to seeing that
Definitely
match
look forward to
again.
seeing that. So now that you've got the main title for HAW,
yeah,
where does your road go from here?
I think I still have a lot to prove in HAW. I've only been there for a short bit of time. But the hard work has paid off. I got the belt with me, and I overcame the obstacle that not many in the locker room could overcome. And I think, the drive that I have is going to push me to compete against bigger and better opponents. And I'm just looking forward to that, just seeing who's next. And I'm aware that there's a bit of a target on my back. So I
That's a
got a lot
fact.
to prove for myself. So I got a lot to prove still in Honor Among Wrestling. So just really looking forward to, wrestling new people, better people, and proving to everyone, why I am the champion. And hopefully they are honored to have me as their champion. And if I can't win them over in the beginning, by the end of it, they'll be chanting A and B.
All right, there you go. There you go. Yeah, that
Hey,
was a
there
heck
it
of an
Yes,
is.
sir. Yes, sir.
obstacle. That was a heck of an obstacle you had to overcome for sure.
Oh yeah. Toughest opponent that I've wrestled so far in my career. I've kind of said that a lot about a lot of opponents that I had, but no joke, just the physical stature of Conan Lycan in himself. He's a specimen. And so I knew I was the underdog going in from the moment they started making polls on social media. I was the underdog, and I knew that even before then going in. So I had a lot to prepare for that day, and I'm just glad that I did what I did. And now I'm sitting here as the new champion for Honor Among Wrestling. So it's an honor.
For
Well,
sure.
I got a question for you, champ. If you don't, oh, sorry, Troy.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, so now that you're champion, the mindset goes to a total different place. Where does it go from you were wrestling as a singles competitor and now you beat Tony Lycan and now the world champion of a company? Like, how does it feel, man?
Uh, it feels very surreal. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of happened pretty quickly, faster than I even expected. So I'm very honored to have the opportunity again. But yeah, the mindset is just, I think in the beginning it was more of just like desperation in a way. The chase, I was chasing after something and I didn't know what I was chasing for. Um, I've had a couple championship opportunities in some other companies, some tag team matches and stuff like that, kind of fell short on. But I don't know, the atmosphere just felt different, and it seemed as laid back as it seemed, you could tell something was gonna happen. And as the match was progressing, I felt the desperation instinct kick in. So I think now it's kind of changed from that aspect to just being kind of prideful in a productive way, as far as no one's gonna take that from me. I'm gonna do the best that I can of my abilities to make sure that I hold this title with as much pride as Conan Lycan did. So I think that's just kind of the mindset right now. Just kind of holding up the tradition and building the lineage for what Honor Among Wrestling is supposed to become.
So I know that Conan definitely said that he, at some point in time, wants a rematch. But before I get to that question, we recently actually had an interview with a gentleman. He goes by Kenny Nine.
Okay.
Do you know him?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He mentioned your name, A and B.
Okay.
He mentioned that he would, in fact, enjoy having a match against you.
In fact,
Yeah,
As
he
well, he
did.
said Theseus as well, but he definitely said your name.
Okay.
So, what are your thoughts on that?
Uh, as expected, as expected. I expect anyone to, now that I have this, anyone should be wanting to come after me. Uh, and that's okay. I can respect that mindset. It's all a part of what we do.
Mhm.
You want the winner's purse, so to speak. You want the gold, you want championships, the accolades.
Mhm.
Um, I think it would be interesting. Kenny Nine, he's first time I met him, I knew he was an interesting cat, to say the least.
yes, he
Uh,
Yes,
is.
he is.
yeah, he's a good guy though. I'll give him that. He's a good guy. In the ring, yeah, I think it would be a good mesh of styles. I think we kind of have a little bit of similarities, just with us being the smaller guys in the underdog way. And I want to see if he can keep up. So I think that would be interesting. I want to see
Okay.
if he can keep up.
All
I
right.
want to blow him up.
Okay.
You heard that,
Yeah.
Kenny? If you watch this video, he accepts your talent.
Yeah. I think it would be fun.
So now to my
It'd be
main
fun.
question. Your rematch with Conan Mike.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready? Are you nervous? How do you feel? What are your thoughts?
I think the nerves are gonna always be there. Whenever I'm just sharing the ring with someone like Conan Lycan. He's different, man. For the as big as he is, he's agile like a cat. He does things that guys his size physically should not be doing, and it's just like holy crap. It's wild because I know I'm not doubting he didn't give me his all, but I know as far as a match, there's so much more potential with what me and him could do. And I look forward to that. And the nerves are always going to be there, but not as much as this last match, the first go round. Um, that truly was the biggest opponent that I had ever uh challenged in my wrestling journey, as far as physique and just the accolades that he has. He's a champion in many companies, around the Midwest. He goes all over. And I look forward to one day keeping up with a schedule like his, and just making my rounds and hitting them towns and winning gold,
Yeah.
because he's that damn good. He's that damn
Yes, he
good.
is.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm very looking forward to it. It's always an honor to just get the chance to talk to him and share the locker room with him and stuff. But to be in the ring with him, uh, he's a whole nother beast. And I like that energy. I like the atmosphere. That was the first time, I will say this, in my wrestling career at the Honor Among Wrestling show, where some people were like, this kid's too small. He don't have it. That really fired me up, and it made me go harder than what I expected. So, and that's why I'm sitting here as the new champion.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
That type of atmosphere from the crowd, and he can pull that from the crowds. So I look forward to those big opportunity matches against guys like Conan Lycan, the Axel Ricos, Koa Laxamanas, like these bigger guys. I'm chasing these guys, really. If I'm being honest, I want to share the ring with the best of the best, because in my eyes, you only get better through experience. So I'm looking forward to whoever it is that Honor Among Wrestling wants to bring in and put in the ring across from me, because I look at it as a learning experience. So win or lose.
I don't know if you should make that request, because what if they bring someone like Madman Fulton in?
Madman Madman Fulton. You know, he did grab me by the throat and you know, he was gonna cause some damage to Conan, and I couldn't let that happen. So I had to do what I had to do. You know, I probably should have just minded my P's and Q's and just hung out in the locker room. But I wasn't gonna let that type of shenanigans happen to
What
Conan.
friends are
You know,
about.
don't disrespect Conan like and yeah, and I just didn't want him to be disrespected or to lose the championship. Um, but Madman Fulton, I would love to wrestle Madman Fulton, you know, especially after the incident and the run in we just had. I think it makes sense. And I mean, he's a guy who's been all over, you know. He was in WWE for a while. He's been in Impact. He's a very accoladed talent in the world of wrestling. So those guys, I'm more than willing to share the ring with those guys, even if people don't think I'm that good. I want to be in the opportunity and given the chance to showcase what I can do to see where I need to improve. And that's the mindset. Uh, just looking forward to every opportunity. I'm looking forward to wrestling Conan again for sure. That's probably like my number one motivator at this point. Just getting back to that scenario where we can share the ring again.
Okay, okay, for sure. I dig it. Big baby.
So kind of getting off the topic of wrestling for a minute and going to WWE. I guess it's still wrestling, but we're gonna talk a little bit different
Yeah.
wrestling now.
Okay.
John Cena versus Roman Reigns has been rumored to be at Crown Jewel. Do you think that Roman Reigns really needs another victory over John Cena right now?
I mean, no, I don't think he does, but as far as like a business, you know, it makes sense. Um, there's a lot of money there, man, and that's what that company's all about. They try to make money and give everybody the biggest platform to showcase themselves. And Roman Reigns, he's kind of ran through everybody, man. And even though they've had their run-ins with each other, John Cena and Roman, Cena still got a lot in his tank, man. So I wouldn't really underestimate John Cena, or kind of like shy away from that aspect of everything, kind of look at it as a negative. I think it's going to be a positive. Um, but I could see Roman beating John Cena again. You know, I can see that happen.
Yeah,
No one's gonna
especially
no
with
no one's gonna stop Roman. You know, I said it last time we were on here. Like ever since he came back from his leukemia incident, and you know things just started progressing, and we started seeing the bloodline culminate and become something. Dude, that thing, no one's gonna take that away from him for as long as he's able to do what he does, and I think he's gonna be on top for another 10 years. You know, so Roman's the guy. He is the guy. You know, and I'm a big Roman fan, so I'm a little biased. I'll be honest, but you know,
Damn,
he's growing
damn.
on me.
and I was just thinking, I was talking to Troy and Ben here a little bit ago. And I want to get your input on this. So the Usos were split up, one to Raw, one to SmackDown. They were done that way. The way I sensed it was to give them a singles run, a chance at a single run, see what they could do on their own. But yet here we are. We're coming into the next pay per view, and they're in tag matches. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it can be a little confusing. Just the last few weeks of wrestling, especially WWE's been a little confusing for me on the end. Um, yeah, it seems kind of like a dead end, you know, and if if they're gonna be in those situations, well, we don't really know where they're going with this stuff too, and I think that's the good part about it. You know, the cool part is it's wrestling, man. Anything can happen. So who knows why they're doing what they're doing, but yeah, it does seem like a little dead end. And they're better off together as a tag team. I miss the Usos as a unit.
Yeah,
They literally to me were the best tag team in the world over, and I will say it over at FTR and them guys because they're
Really, over
just so
FTR?
good. You know. I would say so. I like WWE a lot, and that's obviously where I want to end up, and I just like the way that they capitalize on the crowd, the Usos. They've always found a way to make something out of nothing, and same as FTR, but with the way everybody nitpicks wrestling nowadays, I mean, just look at them. They've been in WWE for how many years, and they've been sharing the ring with some of the best who's ever graced the business,
Mhm.
So it's like you look at those things at the end of the day, when you sit down and look at it, like they're going to be able to say like they're the best and actually have the credentials to back them up and be able to showcase and show people for generations to come what they've done. And I do believe that they've helped pave the way for a lot of people, especially in the future. So I'm a big fan of the Usos. If I would rather see them together, I miss having the Usos as a team.
Speaking of
Okay.
AEW, how about that comment from Christian to Edge in the middle of the ring? Go fuck yourself.
My jaw just dropped. My jaw dropped. I was like, oh man. But leave it to Christian, he's he's having one hell of a run right now, and I
One of
think
the
it's
best
probably
heels
one.
in the business.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. And with the times that we live in, it's kind of hard to get the green light to do some of the things that he's doing. But damn, he can sell he's just a smart guy. He knows what he's doing right now, and he has all that experience, and you can tell that he's really like not relying on it, but it's showing through him. Like all the years of experience that he's had and all the opportunities, he's so comfortable when he's out there. And it's so hard to get that like mean look off of his face, like,
He's so
and
good
he's
at
out
it.
there just constantly drilling. Yeah, he's so good. He's drilling these fans and he's drilling the talents and stuff, and he's captivating everybody's attention. Every clip lately that I've seen on my phone has been Christian, even before Edge when he returned, like all this stuff. He's been everywhere and he's having one hell of a run. And if this is going to be his last run in his career, hats off to him because he did one hell of a job. He's doing a great job right now.
And so I was absolutely shocked myself because like when Edge made his return and went into AEW, I was like, what the hell? I thought this man was retiring. Like I was super shocked. What was your reaction to his music hitting in AEW?
I like that he got to keep the music. Because I
Facts.
can't, me personally, I can't picture him coming out to anything else. I know he had some like older music in the early 2000s, like Rob Zombie and stuff like that, but just that song, like that's a wrestling purist like favorite song. It's probably on
Yep,
everybody's top 10 favorite entrance music list. So
facts.
it was cool. It's always cool to see him come running out the smoke. Like that was when I started having big fan moments. It gave me goosebumps. One of my earliest memories in life in general was around like right after the 2001 TLC at WrestleMania 17. So
Ooh.
like uh I remember watching Monday Night Raw like late 2001, early 2002, and like right after him and Edge and Christian had split up. But like I had seen those TLC matches early on as a kid, like even when I was in diapers, I was just roaming around watching these matches. So it's always cool to see Edge, when he retired with his neck injuries years ago. Like I teared up, man. Like Edge is
Facts.
I I can't associate pro wrestling without Edge, just because of the time period I lived in. So whenever he's around doing whatever, it's very cool to see that he's just enjoying himself and having fun with what he's doing now.
Oh yeah. And it seems like he's out there enjoying himself, being able to be himself now, and kind of just
Yeah.
winging it however he wants with AEW. I like it. I like it. I think they're gonna build a great storyline. Edge and Christian have always been great together, whether they're competitive like against each other or they're tag team partners. I think that they're definitely gonna bring AEW to a whole new level.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So you said that your ultimate goal would be to get to WWE.
Yep.
Which brand do you really see yourself being on?
I like you know, the route that they have, the system that they've built over the years. Um, Going through the NXT process, getting your feet wet a little bit, learning how their system works, and getting the last minute details down before you get to the bigger stage. realistically, I wouldn't be upset if I had to take that route. Um, that's the route I would actually pitch for myself if they gave me an option. Um, but yeah, WWE is that's where I want to be, at the end of the day. That's what I'm kind of working towards. That's what a lot of us are working towards. Um, Either they're All Elite Wrestling or New Japan Pro Wrestling. There's certain places people want to go. Um, but again, like I said with Edge, I couldn't associate pro wrestling without Edge, or have a conversation about wrestling without bringing up Edge. And it's kind of the same thing, You can't talk about pro wrestling without bringing up the WWE, And they got so much like lineage and history behind them and credibility and stuff. So, um, not to discredit anyone else, but that place it immortalizes you within the world of professional wrestling forever. Um, you kind of see it now in a more translucent way where people go there for a few years and unfortunately things don't work out. But them being stamped that they were just alone associated with the WWE creates so many avenues for people. And
Companies wanting them.
we see it with guys. Yeah, and you see it with guys who unfortunately don't last long or things happen and they come back to the indies and they're on every flyer with that stamp, Um, or guys like The Rock and John Cena, guys who spent most of their life there and are still giving back to the wrestling business just in other ways. So to be able to have a resource and a platform to showcase yourself not only on a national schedule but a global scale, um, it can take you a long way. And, that's ultimately the end all be all. That's the biggest show. So that's where I want to be in about 10 years.
Okay.
Less than that if possible, But yeah, WWE is everything for me,
Yep.
All my greatest memories in childhood, are watching WWE. Some of the best times that I had, even during some of my hardest times, was watching WWE. And so that they'll mean a lot to me for as long as I'm alive and for as long as I have passion for wrestling. Um, but if I was to end up anywhere else, I'm not gonna turn that away either. An opportunity is an opportunity. I'm a big fan of Major League Wrestling. I like watching their stuff. I like what they do, just the way that they produce their show and everything like that. They got some good talents there. The NWA, um, man, that place too. Uh, I would not be afraid. I would not be afraid to go there and try to learn their system, just because it's like studio atmosphere and they have all this cool like segments and stuff that they do, and they do a very good job at like capitalizing on characters and telling these stories. Uh, Colby Carino, one of the guys there in NWA, that dude is awesome, and the stories that they've told with him, I can see why people like gravitate to him as much as they do. Matt Vine, I had the pleasure of kind of when I first started sharing the ring with him and training and stuff. So it's just cool to see guys getting their opportunities. And they got 75 years worth of history. Some of the greatest of the greats came through the National Wrestling Alliance. So, and it's insane that they're still running right now. It's insane. The longest running promotion in the States. But they do a very good job. So, I'm not going to be upset or feel like I came up short in anything if I don't ever make it to WWE, or if I don't even make it to any of these other places. I'm doing what I love to do, and I think
Living your
that's
dream.
yeah, yeah, and I think that means more than anything.
Yeah.
Um, that's the ultimate story that I want to tell anyway. Just to personal people that know me, or even to the larger audience of professional wrestling, is that you can do whatever you want to do if you apply yourself, and it don't matter where you came from, what household you came from, single parent, double parent, you know, anything's possible. So that's just the avenue. And I think being able to tell that story on a platform like WWE is just for myself. I think that's where I need to tell that story.
So
So
how old are you, AB?
I am 25. I will be 26 at the in February.
Okay.
Five, about to be 26. Can you imagine what it would be like if in 5 years we played like WWE and he's on it?
Yeah, that would be dope.
Like,
That's
wow.
my goal,
Welcome to
man.
the A and B. No.
That's my goal. That's my goal, man. Yeah, NXT, I would love to go to that system and just learn and be able to be coached by those guys there,
I mean, Shawn Michaels is in
The
charge now, so that'd be a great mentorship right
yeah,
there.
the greatest in-ring performer of all time, like not many people get the chance to even say that they've met the guy that much, but let alone be under his learning tree is just like you can't get that
Crazy.
anywhere else. So it's like it's a no-brainer for me. I would love to go to WWE. And that's just one guy,
Yeah.
you know. They have a whole plethora of resources, within WWE that can help you in all these ways. And guys that's done what we've done, it's pretty remarkable the things that they've built over in WWE. So
I like that. I like that. That's good.
So
With me and Troy here, beginning wrestlers just kind of getting their feet wet, testing it out, training and stuff. What kind of advice would you give to people like us starting to wrestling?
uh take care of your body. A lot of people preach that, but I will say this, man. uh, like I stretch a lot. I never really used to stretch a lot. I stretch all the damn time now. Um and conditioning, like most people kind of underestimate the conditioning aspect of it. It's pretty insane when you think about it. Ric Flair is doing all these matches for an hour 4 or 5 times a week, when he talks about his regular schedule back in the day. And it's like, man, to be able to do that for as many years as he did, no wonder why, you know,
And the
he
performance that
is
he
who he
put
is.
on.
Exactly.
Oh
And
yeah.
so it's a no-brainer as to why who Ric Flair is, who he is, and why he's so important and so respectable within the wrestling business. But I mean, just look at people's bodies. Try to consider what limitations. I used to say this all the time, and I had a hard time dealing with it with myself. I got into a car accident in 2019, and like my mind, for some reason, I had a hard time remembering stuff, especially with wrestling. You have to remember a lot of stuff. It's a more of a mental game and physical game than it is anything. And like I was just having like this cloudy brain. I couldn't remember like the most simple stuff, and it was like getting to me. Um, so like, and I didn't really consider like all the conditioning. So I eventually, long story short, I worked myself up to almost having like a panic attack, and like got super lightheaded, but didn't say anything. And I was so blown up. I ended up chucking up 5 times, you know, and I put my body through hell, and it was a big wake up call. So conditioning, um, definitely just watch anything, like any type of wrestling that'll help you in the long run. Um, and just kind of try to progress through training, as you go by what you're learning. Try not to overstep. I kind of was doing that a couple days throughout a week. I was kind of coming in like, hey, I want to try this, I want to try this, I want to try this, but I didn't have the basic stuff done correctly.
Mhm.
So, there's a process to it, and everybody's process is different just because everybody's body takes this stuff differently. It receives it differently. So, try not to get discouraged. If someone to the right of you's further progressing a lot quicker than you are, try not to get discouraged. Don't really try to beat yourself up, because this is a lot of mental work to be able to be relaxed and be safe with people and know what story you're telling, and all this stuff, but still be relaxed and comfortable enough to where you can still be yourself. So it's a try to get comfortable with just things like that, and just I would suggest just self-analyze, try to learn about yourself as your physique, how you are emotionally. People can test your emotions, they'll get to you. They'll get under your skin some days, but you can't let it break you. You got to use it. You got to find a way to productively use your negatives as a positive. And I think that's one of the best things about pro wrestling. Like I never used to be able to talk like this or even be in front of large amounts of people. And since I started, it's been so not easy, but a lot more comfortable for me to do so. So and I've learned a lot about like myself, you know. I come from a family in the Midwest, so they all cuss like sailors. And I used to do the same thing. I used to get in trouble in school all the time for cussing and everything. So like and putting yourself in situations where you're not used to or comfortable with is a good thing. Change, people get a little nervous about stuff like that, but it's a good thing. So you can take away the, you know, the negatives again and use them as a positive. And I learned how to do that through wrestling, you know, channel, you know, people deal with all types of stuff, you know, channeling your aggression and your emotions and trying to bottle it and then utilize it. So when you're at training, say for example I'm a heel and I need to show more aggression, you can use that. So self intellect, you know, just try to like self analyze yourself, figure out what your strong points are, what your weak points are, physical wise and mental wise, and then just don't look back. Like the moment you get in there, people can be intimidated as things progress. Just don't look back. You know, there's a lot of stuff I've done within wrestling straight through fear, you know, and adrenaline, and it takes you a long way, and you'll be surprised at the things you're capable of. So, you know, just stick with it and be coachable. That's the number one thing I will say is just be coachable. There's a lot of guys that I've kind of had some run-ins with when I was helping training sometimes, and I'm helping them do basic stuff. And again, they had the same mindset as me when I first started, like, no, I want to learn how to do all this other stuff. And it's like there's a process, you know, and it takes time though, you know. So just be coachable and, you know, figure out what your strong points are and what your weaknesses are, physicality wise and mentally, you know.
Okay.
You know, as you're saying it, you know, I'm just going through your Instagram just a little bit, just looking at some of your older videos. Um,
Yeah.
I could definitely see it definitely pays off. Like the physique, the skill set that you have, the move set, like the ring awareness, like I could definitely tell, yeah, it definitely all pays off as you doesn't seem like you've ever really lost a stride. Like it doesn't really seem like you've really lost a step.
Yeah, so
Like
I got in that car accident in 2019 and like learned all my basics at the previous school that I was at. And like even during the time I wasn't like going to wrestling schools and training and stuff like that, and I was just working my regular job, I would just go up to my coworkers and start chain wrestling them, you know, just because I was watching Zack Sabre Jr. and I'm like, oh, I want to do this. I want to try and, you know, so uh and just in like seeking stuff, it's people have to want this in a certain way. And there's some people that don't seek uh and and show that they're seeking an opportunity as far as like reaching out to people and just being consistent. Like there's so many I've gotten a lot more opportunities on shows just to be on them through showing up and helping put up a ring, you know, and just having that common respect for wrestling as a business and you know for the people that's paved our way and then for the promoters in front of you and the workers around you, um it can help, it can help in a lot of ways to just be being coachable and being able to learn how to just try to adapt, just being able to learn to adapt to those things. So and
but
just yeah, so like when I was like not working, it was kind of hard because I didn't have a ring, you know. But I learned how to I was keeping my basics refreshed just because I was messing around, kind of goofing off, you know. The first time I got into a wrestling ring after though, yeah, I was like you could tell there's nothing like taking a wrestling bump. There's nothing like it, you know. There's nothing like hitting the ropes for the first time, especially for a long time. So like that was like, oh man, you know. So it's you have to be consistent and seek these opportunities, you know. So and that shows characteristic through you as a person and how bad you want it, and promoters love that. And I think that's kind of progressed me in a way. So I'm still training as I go and learning as I go, as we all are.
mhm.
I will say that I'm going to Black and Brave in 2025. Not until then, when I graduate, will I say that I've went, you know, I've gotten trained because I don't want to disrespect the wrestling business, because there are guys who busted their ass, paid money, and done all this stuff and did everything the way they're supposed to. And I don't want to be, just some guy who is disrespecting the wrestling business. So I'm not trying to really accredit anybody yet for, oh, he trained me, I trained here. I'm just looking for opportunities, and I think promoters are seeing that, and I think people are seeing that I'm seeking this stuff out on a regular basis, and that I want it, and I think that's kind of helped win me over within the wrestling community because everybody sees that desire that I have, and that's why when I come out, I'm always like,
Mhm.
doing the ice in the veins. I need to feel the energy because I need to know I just need to know, if I belong here. And I think once I get them popping and making noise, and then, hearing the reactions after, like, oh my God, you seem like you've been doing this for years. It's like it's very heartwarming for me. So I'll forever be grateful for everybody who's helped me along my journey and gotten me to this point. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful journey, man. It's really changing me for the better.
Hell yeah. Humble
It's,
words
re-
from a
it's really
humble
changed my
champion.
life.
That is a
So
fact.
Facts.
yeah,
Humble words from a humble champion. I like that. A and B,
So we
you
move
really
thank you.
are a true champion, brother.
Thank
Really
you.
so
Thank
we
true.
you.
move into that part of the shows where we got to do an honorable mention.
Let's do it.
Troy,
Oh, of course. A and B. Of course, you already know my honorable mentions in the go to you, brother.
Honorable
It was a
mention.
great match. You already know, we were right there as soon as he popped out the curtain. We were following you around the ring. We were in it, bro. You know what I'm saying? We were
Yeah,
glad to see you compete and even happier to see you come out as champion. So my honorable mention
Hell
goes
yeah.
to AMB and HAW.
Yep, my honorable mention AMB. I was like, when you pinned him in that roll up, I was like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was shocked. I didn't expect it, but I am super, super happy for you, man. So congratulations and shout out to you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you.
my
My
shout out.
honorable mention.
Oh, go ahead.
My honorable mention is to you guys, man. You guys are always
Thank
supporting HAW, dude. For as long as you guys been coming around, you guys been helping everybody out. Been a good support system. You guys cheer, boo. You guys were actually like almost ringside during my match. So that was freaking cool. I could hear you once I took the big suplex. The big German. I heard you guys. Oh damn, So it was cool to hear that you guys were having fun just as much as I was having fun. So
Oh,
my
of
honorable
course.
mentions goes out
Thanks.
to you guys, Big Baby Ben, Wrestling with Bros, Honor Among Wrestling, and everybody else. Y'all have been a pleasure.
Thank
Man,
you.
For real.
We try to be, man. We try to be
Yeah, yeah.
a great host, man, especially
Yep.
for great, athletes.
Thank you. Thank you.
My honorable
Well-
mention goes to AMB and HAW. Man, you're such a humble guy, man. I love having you on the show. I hope there's a part 3 of Wrestling with Bros and AMB in the future.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All righty.
Yeah. We can make that happen. For sure.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
I'm Big Baby Ben.
Choose Black.
Troy Black, baby.
There's been another amazing episode of Wrestling
AMB.
with the Bros. Hell yeah, AB.
AMB,
Yes,
baby.
sir. Thank you guys.
Thank you.